it's fun. You know, it's not just for the usefulness of it. It's also a fun thing to have. You know, it's I don't know about anyone else, but I find it very interesting to hear music from other countries, viewpoints of other parts of the world. Big into like international broadcasters, China Radio International. Yeah, some good music. Radio Turkey, or the Voice of Turkey. So, there's a lot of good music. I've actually found myself pulling up some Turkish playlists at work. You know, I mean, I don't know what they're saying, but the music sounds really nice. And yeah, things like that. And it's always interesting when you're just sitting at home and you're going through your various radios. You're just scanning around, and you can pick up things that you've never heard before. Like, you have your everyday stations that you always pick up. But when conditions are really good, there are a lot of interesting things that you would not hear on a day-to-day basis. Things from China, Europe. There's a lot of interesting stations out of Europe, like Channel 292, Radio Veronica, and you can pick this stuff up just with the right antenna and the right radio. So for me, I use a 100-foot long wire that I created out of an extension cord, and I run it to my radio room, which is in the middle of the house, but I can still run it from the backyard to it from a tree all the way to my radio room. And I pick up a lot of good stuff in the lower frequencies, you know, all the way from long wave to the lower HF bands. And I also have an MLA 30 plus antenna, which works really nice. It reduces a lot of the noise. So even if you live in a noisy environment like a town or a city, and you experience a lot of noise from your neighbors, things like that, the MLA 30 helps cut down on a lot of that. I've noticed that, especially with the software-defined radio, the RTL SDR, if I use the long wire with that, I'm subject to a lot of noise. But if I use the MLA 30, you don't really experience that noise that you would with just another type of antenna. And I think a lot of that has to do with the directionality of it, and that really helps cut down that noise. It's not so great for the lower frequencies, unfortunately, but it does work for them. I'm not going to say it's bad for that, but I mean, obviously a long wire would be great for the lower frequencies. But I would say, you know, if you're using an MLA 30, it works as a super antenna, maybe 5 megahertz to, I don't know, maybe like 20 megahertz. But it still works pretty good, even if you're listening to medium wave. I've picked up, it works just like a normal ferrite bar antenna, let's say, for the medium wave bands, you know, and up, right? So it's not useless or anything below 5 megahertz, but you know, you could definitely notice that it's not as strong as another antenna would be per se. But for the main HF bands, for your main broadcasters, and ham bands and all that for HF, definitely works really well. I would recommend the MLA 30 antenna for sure. And if you experience a lot of noise, even at, like, I would say the lower frequencies, it still works good. So let's say you're at 160 meters or so, right? The MLA 30 still does a good job of pulling in those weaker stations, especially if you're experiencing a lot of noise on that band, because 160 meters for me, and, you know, 180, definitely has a lot of noise from things inside the house, you know, things in the area. So I would recommend, no matter what, you go with an MLA 30. If you're just getting into it, it's definitely good. If you don't have a lot of space, it's a pretty